What's up, guys? We are day 18 of veg, and the ladies are looking quite good. As you can see, we're getting good growth every day. This is the Birdie Skunk, and then we've got the OK Calyx Grape Gushers times Peach Pistols right here in these three. And we've got Bent Wizard, I believe this is the Bent Wizard over here. The Chi Walker, no, Hulk Blood Genetics is the Chi Walker, and then we've got the Bent Wizard Maybellines. We've got some George Genetics, Jolly Pond Farm. This is their Phrase Marmalade right through here. And we've got the Alpha Skunk from Caper Seeds. And that's it. Everything is looking really good. Got good growth on everything. Got a couple extras over here. This is an extra Maybelline. It looks like it's doing better than the rest. Got a couple of Alpha Skunks here. The Maybelline is definitely doesn't care if it gets a lot of light or not. And we've got Scooter over here hanging out on the log. Oh, there's Scooter too. Come on up. Y'all waiting on worms? Scooter stretching her legs out, sunning herself, getting a little heat from the heat lamp. Yeah, this morning's video is going to be a little shorter because we've got business to take care of this morning, so I don't have 30 minutes to hang out in here. But there's really not a whole lot to look at today. We did all our maintenance yesterday by cleaning the creek out. We added a little water to the pond, maybe about 15 gallons or so. We're having to do that every week or so. Once these plants start really growing up and really starting to suck a lot of water, we will have to start adding a little bit. It will start to wick quite a bit of water, more than what the DHU can put back. And yeah, that's what we have to do right now. And everything looks good. I'm doing my morning walk around as well. It's not really a whole lot to do today. Got a fly hanging out. Everything looks good. You can see what is that? The Lucky Bamboo. That stuff is really starting to take off. And it has no relation to any bamboo whatsoever. They just call it Lucky Bamboo. Look at the leaves on this thing. And then we've got this one over here. Oh, I know something I haven't shown you. I fingered a couple of these leaves. Notice that this this leaf here is missing a finger. And that's because this marmalade is really starting to throw some huge leaves. And I want some light to get down into these lower branches, because I want these lower branches to come on up. So what I do is usually sometimes I just take that finger right there, and that will let that light get on down in there and help those lower branches grow. I'm just going to be bending the way I wanted them to bend, just a little slight turn there. I'm not forcing anything. I just want to give it that little bit of turn there to let that light hit underneath the canopy there. That's all I'm doing. It will pop right back, but that's going to allow some of that light to get down in there, those lowers, and that will help those lowers branches come on up. The more light they get, better off they're going to be. You can see we have fingered a few right through there. Just allow that light. These things were touching, especially when they overlap like this. They'll get moisture underneath in between the in the leaves and can create a problem. But you just take a finger there, take a finger here, bend them over a little bit. Let that light come on down to these lower branches, and these lower branches will come on up. See? Got good branching on the Verde skunk there. It's funny how that Verde skunk over there is doing much better than these three here. And that's just this side over here was set up differently than those over there. And we're just going to have to give this little spot here some time. We were experimenting with this spot versus those over there. And my experiment definitely played out, and how I set those up is definitely the way to go versus how I set this side up. So we went and before we put these in here, we added that layer of sand, silt, and clay to the top of the soil, but it's just going to take more time to break all that stuff down, where those spots over there had an extra 4 months of breakdown time in the soil for that sand and silt. So it's a little ahead, but we expect this side to catch up. And hopefully it does. You'd have to go way back in my Instagram feed where I was putting this thing together and I wanted to experiment a little bit with the soil, but not too much. So I set this spot up, that spot up, this spot up for the soil, and then I left this spot for a little bit of an experiment, a little bit of a different setup. And come to find out, these plants do a whole lot better than this corner over here. And that is a note well taken. And like I said, if you're curious as to how I set it up, we would have to go back in Instagram. But in the future, here shortly, I will be doing a video of a step-by-step, so to speak, on how to put one of these together. And we'll post it on YouTube. It might not be this year, it'll probably be next year. We will be building another one of these. This is basically just an experiment for the future one that I'm going to build in my future home that me and my wife are going to be building. So I kind of wanted to build a house around something like this, and that's what my plan is. But I wanted to basically build this first to work out all the kinks and all the problems, and just see how it if it's possible to do something like this. And apparently it is. Anything's possible when you put your mind to it, and if you've got the will, you can definitely do it. But there's trial and error, and I don't want a trial and error in my new house. So we're trial and error in the garage here with this. And yeah, I think we've learned, and just in this year, we've learned a ton. A lot of what we would do differently. A lot of the material was only a few things that I would do differently in the setup. There's definitely a few things I would do differently in the creek and how we set that up. I would definitely want a shelf, so to speak. So where the creek wall runs around here and then goes down. Right now it's just a bowl, so to speak. It just comes down and comes up and then comes back around. I would like to have the wall and then come down and then have a shelf and then go down and up. The shelf is underwater, but the shelf that's on the edge of the creek will hold that sand, silt, and the rock from washing down the center. and that's where the grass will grow, and that will keep that algae up out of the main flow of the creek. And that's why we have to pick out some of the grass, we have to pick out some of the algae in the center to keep that flow going. You can see how the diachondra grass is just starting to clog up everything. We'll have to go in there and thin it out a little bit, you know, just basic maintenance. And that's how we do it. And it's an experiment, and that's how we're going to treat it. We're just going to, one day at a time, and if we have an issue, we'll solve the issue and keep on trucking. But I appreciate everybody hanging out today, and we will see you tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great Saturday, and peace out.